Here's what happens if INTJs get angry. Number 1. Laser-focused critique. When INTJs experience anger, they exhibit what can be described as laser-focused critique. This means that their criticism becomes highly precise, pinpointing flaws, weaknesses, or issues with remarkable accuracy. Instead of expressing anger through emotional outbursts, INTJs direct their discontent into a laser-like focus on specific areas of concern. In the midst of their anger, INTJs often engage in a meticulous and logical analysis of the situation at hand. Their critique is characterized by its precision and attention to detail. They have an exceptional ability to identify and isolate problems, whether they pertain to a project, a relationship, or a particular situation. Their critique tends to go beyond the surface, delving into the core issues that have triggered their anger. What sets their critique apart is its resilience on facts and data. INTJs are skilled at presenting evidence to support their concerns, making their criticism all the more compelling. Their approach is solution-oriented. It's not just about pointing out flaws, but also about finding practical ways to address the issues they've identified. Despite their anger, INTJs typically maintain a cool and composed demeanor when delivering their critique. They focus on efficient and to-the-point communication, getting straight to the heart of the matter without unnecessary emotional embellishments. Their critique is characterized by clarity and logical reasoning, ensuring that their points are well-structured and easy to understand. While they can be critical when angry, INTJs are usually open to discussing and debating their critique. They welcome a rational exchange of ideas to address the issues at hand. Number 2. Strategic silence. When INTJs experience anger, they often employ what can be described as strategic silence. This means that they choose to remain quiet, refraining from immediate emotional reactions, and instead carefully considering their words and actions. Rather than venting their anger through speech, INTJs use silence as a strategic tool to manage their emotions and the situation. During these moments of silence, INTJs take a deliberate pause to collect their thoughts and assess the situation. They avoid impulsive reactions, recognizing the potential consequences of hasty responses when angered. This silence is a manifestation of their emotional restraint, allowing them to maintain a composed and controlled outward demeanor. INTJs use this strategic silence to gather information, consider facts and variables, and weigh the consequences of their words and actions. It serves as a time for them to de-escalate conflicts, avoid exacerbating the situation, and engage in rational and constructive dialogue. Their silence underscores their commitment to rationality, problem-solving, and the pursuit of constructive resolutions. INTJs aim to communicate with purpose and effectiveness, ultimately focusing on finding solutions and addressing the source of their anger. And besides, in situations where emotions usually take over, there is nothing more powerful than the power of silence. Number 3. Isolation. When INTJs experience anger, they may resort to isolation as a coping mechanism. This retreat is not a sign of weakness, but a strategic choice. INTJs understand that in moments of anger, it's essential to step back, process their emotions, and regain their composure. Isolation offers them a refuge where they can have the space and time to think without external distractions. They seek solitude to assess the situation, their feelings, and their own reactions. In this private retreat, they can analyze the root causes of their anger, which often involves a meticulous examination of the facts and circumstances. During this period of isolation, INTJs introspect. They delve deep into their inner world, contemplating their values and principles. They consider how the situation aligns with their long-term objectives and whether their anger is justified. Isolation also allows INTJs to prevent emotional outbursts or impulsive reactions. They recognize that expressing anger without careful consideration can hinder rather than help. Instead, they choose to wait until they can communicate their feelings and thoughts rationally. This isolation period doesn't mean complete disengagement. INTJs maintain a connection to the situation, observing from a distance and staying attuned to relevant information. They might even engage in research or gather additional data to better understand the issues at hand. If you're loving our content, consider becoming a channel member. As a member, you'll have the power to help choose which video topics we cover, receive exclusive badges to showcase your support, and enjoy priority in our responses to your comments. Number 4. Emotional restraint. Emotional restraint is a hallmark of how INTJs handle anger. When they find themselves in emotionally charged situations, they don't let their feelings run rampant. Instead, they exhibit a high degree of self-control, ensuring that their emotions don't cloud their judgment or actions. This emotional restraint is not a sign of indifference, but rather a conscious choice. INTJs understand the power of emotions and how they can influence decisions and interactions. When anger surges, they take a step back and assess the situation with a clear and rational mindset. Even when they're seething with anger, INTJs often appear composed and cool-headed on the surface. They don't typically display outward signs of distress or agitation, so this calm exterior can sometimes be misleading to others who might not realize the depth of emotion INTJs are experiencing. Emotional restraint is about channeling their anger into productive avenues. Instead of venting frustration in the heat of the moment, INTJs prefer to maintain their composure and engage in thoughtful, logical communication. This allows them to express their feelings and concerns effectively without letting anger take the lead. INTJs are well aware of the consequences of impulsive actions driven by anger, and they recognize that such actions can have long-lasting negative effects. As a result, they choose to exercise emotional restraint as a means to prevent these consequences. This emotional control doesn't mean that INTJs suppress their feelings or ignore their anger. On the contrary, they process their emotions internally, analyzing the causes and implications of their anger. This analysis helps them address the root issues and work toward solutions. Number 5. Deep analysis. Deep analysis is a characteristic response that INTJs exhibit when anger arises. These individuals possess a natural inclination to scrutinize and examine the situation and emotions that trigger their anger. When confronted with anger, INTJs often delve into a meticulous and comprehensive analysis. They are driven to understand the root causes of their emotional turmoil. This analysis goes beyond the surface as they aim to uncover the fundamental issues at play. Rather than reacting impulsively or emotionally, INTJs take a step back to process the situation thoroughly. Their deep analysis involves the collection of data, contemplation of facts, and the evaluation of the various variables at play. It's an analytical process that aligns with their penchant for logical reasoning. INTJs explore the details and nuances of the situation that has provoked their anger. They aim to identify the underlying problems, inconsistencies, or gaps that have led to their dissatisfaction. This meticulous examination serves as a foundation for their response. While engaged in deep analysis, INTJs often maintain a composed exterior. Their emotional turmoil is channeled into this process of investigation and reflection. They use their analytical prowess to break down complex issues into manageable components, making it easier to grasp the bigger picture. The result of this deep analysis is a well-informed perspective on the situation. INTJs gain a thorough understanding of the problems at hand and are better equipped to communicate their concerns and potential solutions. Their approach is methodical and detail-oriented, ensuring that they address the core issues effectively. Number 6. Fiercely logical arguments. INTJs are known for their ability to engage in fiercely logical arguments when anger is at play. Rather than resorting to emotional outbursts, they channel their discontent into well-reasoned and rational discussions. When angered, INTJs don't let their emotions dictate their responses. Instead, they rely on their natural inclination towards logic and analysis. They are driven to present their concerns and frustrations in a clear and methodical manner. These logical arguments are underpinned by a strong foundation of facts and data. INTJs gather evidence to support their claims and viewpoints, making their arguments compelling and difficult to dismiss. Their reliance on objective information strengthens their case. The language they use is precise and articulate. INTJs have a knack for conveying their thoughts with clarity and structure. Their arguments are free from emotional embellishments or ambiguity, making it easier for others to follow their line of reasoning. INTJs are also solution-oriented when they engage in these logical arguments. While they express their anger and concerns, their ultimate goal is to find resolutions and improvements. They seek to address the root causes of their anger and work towards more favorable outcomes. In discussions, they remain composed and focused, maintaining a level of emotional restraint even as they passionately argue their points. Their ability to remain calm under pressure enhances the impact of their arguments. These videos will be really helpful for you.